Yeah. The symbol for similar is a sideways squiggle. See that? That means similar. Similar figures have the same shape, but different sizes. Corresponding parts of figures are sides or angles that have the same relative position. Here's the symbol for congruence. It's an equal sign with that squiggly line on top. They're congruent if they have the same shape and size. If you guys look at stop signs, they're all what? They're all what kind of figure? That says triangle ABC is similar, see the similar squiggle, to triangle DEF. Because they're similar in that order, do you see where A is placed? Its corresponding angle is the one that sits in the same spot, which is angle D. So what that means is angle, well, you can write it here. Angle D is congruent to angle A. Since angle B is in the middle, what letter sits in the middle of the other triangle, Sam? What? I didn't hear you. E. So angle B is congruent to angle E. And if you look at angle C, that C is in the same place as angle F. So angle C is congruent to angle F. That's going to be true whether they're similar or congruent. The ratios of corresponding sides are equal. AB over its corresponding side, which is in the orders DE, is going to equal, well, look at where BC sits. You've got to be consistent. If I start with the little one, I got to, big over little has to equal big over little. So BC over its corresponding side is EF, which has to equal, remember, little over big has to equal little over big. So AC would be equal to, or AC over DF. That is true with any similar set of polygons. Okay, well, look at them. If I put AB is 5 over its corresponding side is DE, that's 10. They all have to be in the ratio of 5 to 10, which is really 1 to 2. Check them. Okay, I have BC, which is 3 over its corresponding side is EF. 3 over 6, is that the same? Yeah. Yep. And then you've got to take AC, which is 4, over its corresponding side which is 8. Are those all 1 to 2? Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I'm not even going to look at the figures. I'm going to look at it says give the corresponding angles. See where X sits? Angle X has to be congruent to angle what? What sits in the same place as X in the given statement? Jared?
U.
U. Then I'm going to take Y. Angle Y is congruent to, Gavin, what sits in the same spot as y?
V.
Angle V. And then the last one, I'm looking at z now. Angle z is going to be congruent to angle, Jack?
W.
W. So when you know that, it's a lot easier. So if I'm going to go into the pictures, x is congruent to u. So I'm going to go to x and put one arc there, and go to u and put one arc there. I'm going to go to y and v, and I'm going to put two arcs there. And then I'm going to go to z and w and put three arcs there. If you look at the given statement, this will help you out a lot. Okay? So corresponding sides. Look at segment XY. And some of you got points taken off the homework because you didn't put your segment notation on there. Segment notation is important here. What is its corresponding side? Segment XY, and what's its corresponding side? Camden? UV. It sits in the same spot, right? Segment, then I'm going to say segment YZ. And what's its corresponding side? Jack?
VW.
Segment VW. And then you go XZ, segment XZ. And what's its corresponding segment? Mav? UW? And would it matter how you said it? No. Everybody remember that? All the angles add up to 180. Okay? And basically what you're going to be using out of this, you're going to be using the ratio of sides. I would say XY over UV is going to equal YZ over VW, which is going to equal XZ over UW. Remember what I said it means? 4 vertices means it's a quadrilateral. So basically what this says is quadrilateral STUV is similar to quadrilateral WXYZ. That's what it means. And notice one of them's upside down and turned, correct? Sometimes we get confused with that. Tell me, angle S is going to be congruent to which angle? What sits in the same spot as S? Camden? W. So I'm going to put one hash mark there and one hash mark there. Angle T is going to be congruent to which angle? T. Addie? X. Angle U is going to be congruent to which angle? Tessa? Angle Y. And I put 3 arcs there. And then angle V, which is, I'm going to put 4 arcs, is congruent there. And then if you write the sides, ST over, what's its corresponding side? ST over what? Kobe? WX is going to equal TU over, what's its corresponding side? Jack? XY, which is going to equal UV over, class? YZ. Do you see the order that they're in? UV, YZ, which is going to equal, then I got to get the last one, SV over, class? WZ. It says find the ratio of the lengths of corresponding sides of quadrilateral ABCD to quadrilateral RS or QRST. Let's review this. When it says quadrilateral ABCD to quadrilateral QRST, they are a ratio. Whichever one is listed first has to be the numerator. So I have to select one of the sides from the first quadrilateral. Sorry, Carson. That was my bad. So pick one, Carson, now from A, B, C, D.
8.
8. She picked 8, which corresponds to AD. So I'm going to go 8 over. She picked AD. What's its corresponding segment? Tessa?
QT.
QT. So go to QT, which is here. And I put over 10. Okay? Well, what does that reduce to?
4/5.
So the ratio of sides is 4 to 5. But Mrs. Bowen, I didn't want to pick that one. Okay, great. I'm going to pick AB. If I pick AB, it's 9.6 over, what's AB's corresponding segment? Gavin?
QR.
QR. How much is QR?
12.
Can you have a decimal and a fraction?
Yes.
No, you cannot. You can't simplify that way. Okay? If I move this decimal point one way to one to the right, what do I have to do in the denominator?
Add a 0.
Add a 0. So it's really 96 over 120. Go ahead and reduce that for me. If I do 6.4 DC, I would put DC over
TS.
Yep, and I would have 6.4 over 8. Am I going to get the same ratio? That if they are similar, they are in the same ratio. So yes. Find the ratio of the quadrilateral FGHJ to quadrilateral KLMN. Which one do I have to start with? Which quadrilateral do I have to start with? Jacob? Yep. Give me one of the side links. Jacob? FG, which is 8. FG corresponds to class?
KL.
KL. What's KL?
6.
So what's the ratio of the sides? 4 to what?
3.
4 to 3. The ratio of sides, that's big over little, isn't it? Here's the same terminology, but look at it. This one says given quadrilateral DEFG is, what is that symbol? Congruent to quadrilateral KLMN. So we know KL, and it sits in the same spot as ED. So KL is going to equal what? What is ED?
8.
8 feet. Okay? And then B says angle L, but that's saying they want a congruent statement. We're going to turn this in, we are going to find the measure of angle L. Do we know the measure of angle L? No, not right now, but what angle sits right next to it or in the same spot?
E.
So we're going to compare this with the measure of angle E. So what's the measure of angle L? Well, look at angle E.
190.
Here's E, right? These correspond. So what's the measure of angle E, Landon? What? What's the measure of angle E is 111 degrees, isn't it? So what's the measure of angle L?
111.
It's 111 degrees. If I said to you, find the measure of angle K, what's the measure of angle K? What is it? Gavin P?
93.
93 degrees, right? Sits in the same spot. You've got to be very careful about how you're reading these. This says triangle ABC is what? Congruent to triangle LMK. You want to find the measure of angle L. What angle corresponds to L, Jared? A, angle A. So what is the measure of angle L? 58 degrees.